Last but not least is rapid reaction. A lot of topics, a little time. Jay, the floor is yours.
All right. UFC icon Anderson Silva says, and I quote, I think MMA for me is done, end quote, ahead of a boxing fight reported by Ariel Awani. What are your thoughts on that, Drink?
Hey, listen, man. Everybody, much respect for Anderson Silva. I'm glad I heard he quoted this. Cause Anderson Silva, he just the problem when these guys become goats like him, they don't know when to quit, when to hang it up, and then you get this lasting tarnish of their legacy because they lose a fight they shouldn't lose, or they go out on their shield or whatever. Anderson Silva hasn't looked great in his probably last 5, 6 fights. But you can't take away everything he done for the sport, everything he done in the UFC. But I'm glad to hear this. Let's see how the boxing fight goes. I hope he don't end up on his face like Nate Robinson or like Ben Askren just did in the last, Triller fight. But with that said, best of luck to the GOAT. I wish him nothing but success, but I'm glad to hear this. It was about time he hung up them UFC gloves. The Aaron Rodgers drama in Green Bay may have more consequences, as All-Pro wide receiver Devante Adams said it could potentially impact his future. Your thoughts?
I don't think Devante Adams may not be the only one. I mean, you think about it, like you got old Gunakinst up here signing Blake Bortles, not even taking the situation seriously, doing the Jordan Love nonsense in last year's draft. I think NFL players got to be looking at Green Bay and like, man, they got one of the no doubt greatest quarterbacks of all time. Maybe before Patrick Mahomes, the most talented quarterback of all time. And this how he up there getting treated. I know he's got his flaws and all that, but I think it's a message other players are paying attention to, like Devontae Adams, and it could have consequences even beyond him. The 2021 NBA Draft Combine is scheduled to take place in person June 21st through the 27th in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena and the Marriott Marquis, consisting of a bunch of things: team interview sessions, 5-on-5 games, shooting drills, measurements, strength agility testing, half-court drills, and the medical procedures, which will probably include some great COVID testing. That sounds about normal, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, listen, they had me in person in June. Hey, when I read that, I said, hey, we sound like we get back to the normal mumbo jumbo here, folks. So I'm glad to hear it. I want to hear more like it. Listen, I know COVID is real. Please, folks. I mean, I know we gotta quote this every time we talk about COVID. Yep. Mm-hmm. We taking COVID serious, but listen, I would like for us to go back to normal. It is what it is. We got the vaccine rolling out. If you want to be skeptical, I don't think no one is going to stop you from going anywhere with a mask on. I mean, nope. You might be somewhere and you're the only one wearing one. That's on you. But, and nobody's going to stop you. So I was happy to hear this. Let's keep it going. I want to hear more stuff like that. It's been a difficult season for the Houston Rockets, but owner Tillman Fertitta said he is excited about the team's future. You agree with him?
Well, of course he is. I mean, he can't be excited about right now because right now it's pretty bleak. They're like, 5-43 in their last 48 games or something crazy. But they do have, some promising young talent with, your Christian Woods and Jay Sean Tates, Kevin Porter. And, this is something we kind of anticipated once Daryl Morey left and Mike D'Antoni and then the James Harden, Russell Westbrook stuff. So, I mean, they've had an opportunity to, retool, regain some draft capital. They're gonna have a great chance to get a high draft pick. That's what happens when you're the worst team in the NBA. But I think there are better days ahead. He gave pretty good endorsements to the GM, Raphael Stone and Steven Silas. I think those guys. It's been a tough year. They couldn't anticipate some of this, but I think he is right. I think better days have to be ahead. Chris Berman has signed a multi-year extension to continue to host NFL Primetime, that great ESPN programming. You're excited about that, aren't you?
Rumbling, bumbling, like that. Hey, man, it's the music for me, man. Like, I know a lot of people over Chris Berman, but maybe it's just because I've been watching football so long. I missed, him and Tom Jackson doing their thing, man. I know they dinosaurs in today's NFL, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, if they worked it out and he's on the show, I'm happy for it because I love to hear the music. I love to hear the, hey, I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, I was excited and I'm glad to hear it. The Boston Celtics announced Monday that All-Star guard Jaylen Brown has a torn ligament in his left wrist and will miss the rest of the season. What does this mean for the Celtic playoff hopes?
Oh man, Celtic playoff hopes are like that week 1 Falcon Eagle matchup, about dead in the water. Yeah, you can go ahead and forget about it. They're gonna look like they're gonna be in the play-in tournament thing, and I think they'll get out of there. But they're gonna be facing Philadelphia or Brooklyn, and at best, I think they can win a game. But they're gonna get out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry. The only thing maybe that we talk a lot about Brad Stevens and the pressure that's on him. Maybe this takes some of the heat off, because with no Jaylen Brown, you got to think that the expectations have got to tail off a little bit because of that. The NBA and the NBA Players Association have added updates to the protocols for COVID-19. Fully vaccinated individuals, and they are ride shares and taxis are allowed. You don't have to wear a face shield, and treatment sessions on teams where you have 85% of players and staff vaccinated. Hot and cold tubs and steam rooms are permitted for multiple people. That's good. Maybe some progress there.
Yeah, any progress is progress. Listen, and I know, reading that rapid, it's like, do we really care? In the grand scheme, no. But for me, yes, because it shows progress. So anytime I get a chance to say, hey, folks, we got some progress over here, I want to speak on it, because more than likely, media will tell you when someone tests positive, but they yet to tell you, oh, well, that's one positive out of this many people. They're just going to say, oh, we got a positive test, So this is the type of stuff we need to talk about too. The NBA clearly is going towards opening things back up now, as long as you're vaccinated. So the vaccine's doing something, and now the NBA is starting to scale back some of the protocol. I like it. I like anything that shows that we're gonna go back to the normal mumbo jumbo. And I'm gonna say this over and over until we get there. I like anything like that. The Washington Wizards point guard Russell Westbrook broke Oscar Robertson record for career triple doubles with a 28 point, 13 rebound, 21 assist game on Monday's night loss to the Atlantic Hawks. How impressed are you with that accomplishment?
Probably not as much as you may think. It's almost like this is something that we've taken for Russell Westbrook for granted on. Like, he's been just accumulating statistics at a breakneck speed for 4 out of the past 5 years. He's been averaging a triple-double. There hasn't been a whole lot of winning correlated, to his success, especially this year with being on the Wizards, they are up to the 10th seed. But it is a tremendous accomplishment, and, we should pay respect to it. But I will say, I wonder, Russell Westbrook probably wishes he would have hit that 3-pointer to win the game and postponed this little triple-double accomplishment. The Colts are signing former Chiefs left tackle Eric Fisher to a 1-year, $9.4 million deal, according to a source, and they are comfortable with his rehab progress. Is this a case of the rich getting richer?
It seems so. I mean, think about this, right? We know Eric Fisher. I would say I think he was first overall pick in his draft. And we know he done some good things since he's been in the NFL. And listen, for a team to say, hey man, we're gonna sign you, but don't worry about playing immediately. Just go there, do your rehab, we'll holler at you later. That's usually something that teams do with rookies. This dude is far from a rookie, folks. So what that tells you is, when we talk about the Colts, one of the first things we talk about with the Colts is that impressive offensive line. What they do, they go get another guy. When he's on, he's impressive. Now he's been dealing with a lot of injuries as of late, but when he's not fighting injuries, he's a damn good offensive lineman. So, I do look at it as the rich getting richer, and hey, I ain't mad at it. Last one, tomorrow night in Miami, we got the 76ers versus the Heat. Who you got and why?
I'm taking the Heat tomorrow night. I think Philadelphia will probably be taking their foot off the accelerator just a little bit as they cruise to the playoff. Then looks like pretty good shape for that 1 seed. Meanwhile, Miami, and then that 3-way tie for the 4th spot. Definitely want to stay in that 4 or 5 range as we talked about. So I'm taking Jimmy Butler and the Heat. And that concludes tonight's Drink of Wisdom. As always, like, listen, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Jay Wise.
And I'm Nathan Drinker. And remember, make tomorrow better than today and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.